And that takes us into...
Who's that Pokemon?
All right, and our Who's That Pokemon for this week is... Magneton.
I didn't do it this time. I didn't interrupt.
You did not. I also put up my finger to make sure you didn't interrupt.
I didn't even see it.
All right, some basic... Magneton, who also in Japanese is known as Rare Coil.
It's an all right name. Magneton is a cooler name, though.
Yeah. I think because Magnemite's Japanese name is Coil.
Okay.
Some basic information on Magneton. It's number 82 in the Pokédex. It is an electric and steel type. It is 3 foot 3 inches tall and weighs 132.3 pounds, and it is known as the Magnet Pokemon. It does evolve into Magnezone when leveled up in a specific magnetic field or when exposed to a thunderstorm stone, depending on what game you're in.
I didn't know there was another evolution.
Yeah, I believe it came in Generation 5. They added one on.
Okay.
And if you leveled it up near the specific rock, then it evolved into Magnezone, but then it got to other games that like, we don't have this rock, so let's just make it evolve with the Thunderstone. Some origin on Magneton. Its name, Magneton's English name, is a combination of magnet, a material or object that produces a magnetic field, and on, a scientific suffix often associated with particles like electron, proton, and neutron. The name reflects both its magnetic nature and its scientific mechanical identity. The on ending gives it a technical, almost atomic feel, fitting for a Pokemon composed of 3 Magnemite linked together through strong magnetic force.
I always assumed it was ton because the thing weighed a ton.
Oh, well, now you know. See, you always learn something.
I know.
Its Japanese name, Magneton's Japanese name is Rare Coil, or if you do the Japanese Romanized, it's Ryakoru. I hate trying to say these Japanese words. Ryakoru, which is Romanized as Rare Coil. This name combines rare, referring to rare earth metals, which are often used in the production of strong magnets, and coil, referencing electromagnetic coils used in motors and generators. The name leans heavily into electrical engineering terminology. Rather than focusing simply on magnetism, the Japanese name highlights the electromagnetic coil structure, which visually resembles Magnemite's body in the way the 3 units connect. What is Magneton based off of? Its primary concept is linked magnets and magnetic fields. Magneton is literally 3 Magnemite fused together through strong magnetic force. This reflects how magnets can attract and cluster, magnetic fields interact and overlap, and electromagnetic units can synchronize. Its design visually represents field amplification, 3 magnetic sources working in unison to produce stronger output. Electromagnetic coil also is based off electromagnetic coils in industrial hardware. Magneton's Japanese name, Rare Coil, confirms heavy inspiration from electromagnetic coils used in motors and generators, as I said before. And rare earth metals known for extreme magnetic strength. The visible screws, metallic structure, and hovering behavior reinforce that it's modeled after industrial electrical components, not a natural organism. And then there's the magnetic levitation and EM phenomenon. Magneton floats using magnetism, which ties into magnetic levitation concepts, polarity interaction in industrial power systems. Pokédex entries often mention it appearing near power plants, further anchoring it to real-world electrical infrastructure. That was a mouthful.
Yeah. Well, I just looked at the whole thing, and you got a couple more mouthfuls to go.
Yeah, I know. Magneton is we've had a couple of short ones, so buckle up, kids. This is
folks.
This is a big one. Magneton's biology. Magneton is a mechanical robot-like Pokemon formed when 3 Magnemite become linked together by a powerful magnetic force. While this fusion typically occurs when multiple Magnemite are nearby, a single Magnemite can still evolve into Magneton even in isolation. Each Magnemite within Magneton has a gray spherical body with a single eye and a red and blue tipped horseshoe magnet on either side. In its most common configuration, 1 Magnemite sits on top while the other 2 connect beneath it by their screws, forming a triangular shape. The top unit usually has 3 visible Phillips head screws, while the lower 2 appear to have only 2. In some depictions, particularly in 3D games like Pokémon Snap, The three Magnemite are not physically connected. Instead, they hover in a triangular formation and can shift positions freely within one another's magnetic field. In these cases, all three units display three screws. The magnetic force binding them is incredibly strong, capable of drying up moisture and raising the surrounding temperature by 3.6 degrees Fahrenheit or 2 degrees Celsius within a radius of up to 3,300 feet, 1 kilometer.
Hmm.
Magneton's electromagnetic output can interfere with electronic devices and even cause earaches. It also emits powerful radio waves that analyze its surroundings. Magneton can levitate using anti-gravitational magnetic forces. Because it consists of three Magnemite, its electrical output is roughly tripled, though the intelligence does not increase proportionally. This
it 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 gets more powerful, but stays equally stupid.
Despite its artificial appearance, Magneton still requires sustenance, as shown in Pokemon the Series episode The Spokesman. It feeds on electrical currents. It is commonly found in rough terrain and near power plants where electricity is abundant. Magneton appears more frequently during periods of increased solar activity, such as sunspot flares, likely due to its fluctuation in the sun's magnetic field. It is also known to gather in elevated areas during rainstorms where lightning strikes are more common. In the 11th chapter of Pokemon Adventures, it demonstrates the ability to shape its electrical into platforms and barriers. In Pokemon Horizons, the series episode The Future I Choose, it disrupts phone and internet signals. And in an unexpected picnic, a group of Magneton generates an EMP powerful enough to damage computer software. Although it resembles a modern machine, Magneton's existence dates back thousands of years. Carvings of it have been discovered in the ruins of Alph, and Pokemon Generations episode The Redemption depicts Magneton during the Great War of Kalos 3,000 years ago. The paradox Pokemon Sandy Shocks is believed to resemble an ancient Magneton from 10,000 years in the past. In Pokemon Sleep, Magneton is shown resting with its three Magnemite either tightly linked or gently drifting apart, suggesting its magnetism becomes unstable while it sleeps. Magneton's kind of an interesting Pokemon.
Yeah, I'm sitting here like, I always hated those stupid things, but now I'm like, these things are kind of neat.
Some Pokédex entries on Magneton. Red and Blue says, formed by several Magnemites linked together, they frequently appear when sunspots flare up.
Mm.
Pokemon Yellow says, generates strange radio signals. It raises the temperature by 3.6 degrees Fahrenheit within 3,300 feet. And isn't that like just that little bit of raising temperature can really mess with the atmosphere? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Pokemon Stadium says, formed by Magnemite that link together when the number of black spots on the sun increases. Fires high voltage power, etc. Hold on, Pokemon Stadium. You usually need to list.
You can't just etc that. You can't just
Don't
etc high voltage power.
don't you need at least two things, then an etc.? You can't just etc. after the one. You're the English teacher,
yeah.
Josh.
Yeah, you can't etc one thing. It's not an etc.
Pokemon Gold says 3 Magnemite are linked by a strong magnetic force. Earaches will occur if you get too close. Pokemon Silver says the Magnemite are united by a magnetism so powerful it dries all moisture in its vicinities. Pokemon Crystal says when many Magnemite gather together, the resulting magnetic storm disrupts radio waves. Pokemon Ruby says Magneton emits a powerful magnetic force that is fatal to mechanical devices. As a result, large cities sound sirens to warn citizens of a large-scale outbreak of the Pokemon. So like a tornado siren before Magneton. But wouldn't Magneton stop the siren from going off?
Yeah, they would stop I guess it's like the crank ones. The
Yeah.
wee!
It was just one guy every time. He's like the Paul Revere of the towns. The Magneton are coming.
Yeah.
The Magneton are coming. He runs up into the top of the tower and starts cranking.
That's pretty funny.
Pokemon Sapphire says Magneton emits a powerful magnetic force that is fatal to electronics and precision instruments. Because of this, it is said that some towns warn people to keep this Pokemon inside a Pokeball.
Mm.
So I guess some information about a Pokeball there. It's strong enough to disrupt a Magneton's waves or whatever. Pokemon Platinum says many mysteriously appeared when more sunspots dot the sun. They stop TV sets from displaying property. Pokemon Sun says when 3 Magnemite link together, their brains also become one. They do not become 3 times more intelligent. Pokemon Sun is like, they're just as stupid, guys.
Yep.
Pokemon Moon says it has about 3 times the electrical power of Magnemite. For some reason, outbreaks of this Pokemon happen when lots of sunspots appear. Ultra Sun says delicate equipment can malfunction in areas inhabited by Magneton, which sends out mysterious electrical signals. Ultra Moon says when rain clouds form, many Magneton gather in high places and wait for lightning to strike. Pokemon Sword says this Pokemon is 3 Magnemite that have linked together. Magneton sends out powerful radio waves to study its surroundings. Pokemon Shield says this Pokemon is constantly putting out a powerful magnetic force. Most computers go haywire when a Magneton approaches. Legends Arceus says 3 Magnemite gather to evolve into this Pokemon, the source of much vexation on my part as its powerful magnetism destroys my research equipment.
Hmm.
I love how Legends Arceus is just written by the point of view of one guy.
Yeah.
I really like how they did that because then they did Legends ZA and they just steal Pokédex entries from some
Mm.
other games. And then
Lazy.
Pokemon Sleep says the 3 Magnemite are usually linked by a strong magnetic force. They have been spotted sleeping stuck together and drifting apart. Perhaps their magnetism is unstable during sleep. And then a bit of trivia on Magneton. In the Pokemon Red and Blue beta, Magneton was originally known as Recoil, so close to Rare Coil. Again, because I think in the beta, Magnemite was just Coil. And then Magneton in its pre-evolved form were the first Pokemon to ever change types with the progress of generations, because when Generation 2 came out, it became a Steel type.
Mm.
And that is our Who's That Pokemon segment on Magneton.